Okay, guys, so starting in child's pose, let your hips reach back towards your heels, your head to get heavy on the mat. Arms can be reaching forward and long if that's an option for you. Maybe coming up onto fingertips so you're opening up through the chest and the shoulders, letting your wrists and your forearms lift up off the mat. And then just taking a minute to check in with your breathing. So as you breathe in, ribs, diaphragm expand on the inhale. And as you exhale, letting go. Letting go of any extra thoughts, distractions in your mind. Letting go of any expectations about what your class will look like today. And then allowing your hips to still stay grounded. Take your hands to walk over to the right side, lengthening through the torso, through your waist. On your next inhale, coming back to center. And then as you exhale, walking over to the other side. Inhale and come back to center. And then we'll come up forward into tabletop, hands and knees. In tabletop, lining up wrists and shoulders, knees and hips. And then starting with some cat and cows. As you inhale, let the heart shine forward, the chest open up. And as you exhale, round your back, let your head get heavy. And just allowing the movement to flow with your breath. Take a minute to check in with your breathing. Notice the strength and the grounding in your hands. So the weight pressing all the way out into your finger pads. And just one more round here. And then coming back to neutral spine, curl your toes under. We're just gonna hover the knees a couple inches up off the mat. So pressing strong into your arms like you're pressing the mat away. Still active in the muscles, the grip in your fingers. One more breath here. Then on your exhale, downward dog, hips up and back. In downward dog, you can pedal out your feet. You can soften your knees. Allowing the hips to lift up and the head to hang heavy. And just as an option, allowing your chin to turn shoulder to shoulder, maybe shaking your head yes and no. And then coming back to center, softening the knees on the next exhale, feet to hands. Coming into a half lift on your inhale, heart chest opens up, fold. Inhale, root to rise, draw the arms, extended mountain, reach up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, dive down. Inhale, root to rise, stand tall, one more round here. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift, inhale, chest a little higher than parallel. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise, extended mountain, stand tall. Exhale and fold. Half lift, chest, heart shines up. Hands down for plank. We're gonna be in plank for about 5 breaths. So pressing strong into your arms. So you're engaging through those muscles in your hands, your chest, your upper back. Even active through the muscles in your legs. 2 more breaths here. And then allowing your elbows to draw back as you chaturanga to lower. Inhale, heart shines, chest opens up. Downward dog, let your hips reach up and back. And on your next exhale, feet to hands. Half lift, inhale, fold. Root to rise, stand tall, fold. Half lift, chest open, soft knees, chaturanga. Elbows draw back, upward dog, downward dog, hips reaching up and back. We'll be here for a few breaths, still keeping the strength in both hands. Soften your knees, eyes to the top of the mat, and step or jump it up, feet to hands. Half lift, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, stand tall, Surya Namaskar A. One more time, exhale, fold. Half, chaturanga. Elbows draw back, you can be on knees, you can be on toes. Upward dog or cobra, inhale, downward dog. Taking just a couple rounds of breaths here. Exhale, feet to hands, half, fold, Root to rise, stand tall, Utkatasana chair. Hands can be heart center and Jolly Mudra, or they can be reaching up overhead. Feet can be as wide as you need them to be. Find the strength in the grounding in your legs. We'll take a couple more breaths here. The pit of the belly drawing in and up. The hands are active. One more breath. Forward fold. Half lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog. We're going to right leg in the air. Right leg in the air. It can be level hips with the toes lengthening back. Or it can be a scorpion dog if that's a better option for you. Opening up through the hip, drawing the heel towards your opposite glutes. Strong and grounded into both hands. On your next exhale, we're going knee to chest. Inhale, reach it up and back, lengthen. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, reach it up and back. One more time, knee to chest, pause and hold here. Using the strength in your arms, your hands, finding the grounding in your hands and the mat. Core strength, drawing the knee up by your nose. One more breath. Right foot top of the mat. Virabhadrasana, warrior one. So go ahead and ground that back heel down. Arms can be up or they can be down. That back foot can be as wide as you need it to be. So if you need to step it a little bit wider to let the hips reach forward. Hands are active whether they're up or down. You're reaching through your fingers. Find the strength in the legs. So the more you bend into that front knee, the more strength it takes. Deciding what's best for you this morning. One more breath. Inhale, it's a reach. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog on the inhale. Meeting in downward dog, left leg up and back. Again, level hips or scorpion dog, your option. Strong through both hands. On your next exhale, knee to chest, draw it in. Inhale, reach it up and back. We'll do 2 more rounds here. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale and up. Next time you exhale, bring it forward, pause and hold. Press the mat away so you're in that plank, drawing the knee in towards your chest. So strong in your hands, your upper back. One more breath. Warrior one, left side, Virabhadrasana one, grounding through that back foot. Again, that back foot can go wide so the hips reach forward. Arms are reaching strong up overhead, active even through your hands. So warriors are strong. You're finding the strength in the grounding in your feet, all the way through your fingertips. One more breath. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward dog, downward dog. We'll pause here for a couple breaths. Remembering child's pose is an option anytime you need it. And if you want to let go of some heat, the breath is in through the nose and out through the mouth. Soften the knees, eyes to the top, step or jump, feet to hands. Half lift, inhale, forward fold. Root to rise, draw the arms and reach up. Victory Mudra, pointer fingers long at the top. Grounding through your legs will lengthen over to one side. Inhale, tall in the center. Exhale to the other side. Back to the center, stay tall. Hands behind your back, knuckles reach down towards the floor. Open up through the chest, soft knees, forward fold. Maybe the arms fall off your back, or if a bind isn't an option for you, you can release the hands. Release the hands, inhale, root to rise. Exhale, fold. Half lift, chaturanga. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, we're going to right leg in the air. It can be a scorpion, it can be a flip dog or a wild thing, your variation. Whatever is pressing into the mat is grounding and strong. And we'll all meet in warrior two, right foot forward, Virabhadrasana, warrior two. Arms reaching long, opposite directions. Still bending into that front knee, grounding through the back leg. We're going peaceful warrior flow. So inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, side angle, reach it up and forward. Movement with your breath. Inhale as you lift. Exhale and forward. One more round here. Inhale. And when you come forward into side angle, we'll pause. Option to keep that bottom hand resting, forearm on your leg, or reach it forward towards the mirrors. Roll the shoulders back, the torso open. Keeping the grounding and the strength in your legs. One more breath here. Inhale, peaceful warrior, pause. And then we're going floating half moon, right side forward at the top. So coming forward into that half moon Ardha-Chandrasana, right hand reaching down towards the floor, left hand reaching up towards the ceiling. That bottom hand is maybe a foot, 2 foot up off the floor. You want your chest a little higher than parallel. Blocks there if you want it, so you can always keep that right hand grounded. Lifting up through that left arm. And then option to bring that bottom hand forward towards me. Just an option. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Active through that back leg. One more breath here. We're gonna drop step it back into a peaceful warrior on your inhale. Chaturanga on your exhale. Upward dog. Meeting in downward dog. Downward dog, left side in the air. Left-legged, 3-legged dog. Scorpion, flip dog, wild thing, your variation. And then everybody meeting forward, warrior 2, left side, Virabhadrasana 2. Active through your hands, spread and reach through your fingers. Maybe that gaze, that drishti is forward. Notice the strength and the grounding in your feet. And then coming peaceful warrior flow. Inhale. Forward flow. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale and forward. And just one more round here. The next time you come forward into side angle, pause and hold. Option for that bottom hand to stay for some support on your leg or reach it forward towards the windows. Roll the shoulder back, the chest opens up. Keep bending into that front knee, finding the strength in your legs, but pressing strong into that back foot. One breath. Inhale, peaceful warrior, and now we'll float it forward into that Ardha-Chandrasana, floating half moon. Left hand's gonna be maybe a foot or 2 up off the floor, the chest higher than parallel. Reach up through that right hand. Push through the back leg. Hips are stacking, shoulders stacking. And then option to bring that bottom hand forward, just an option. You may notice that one side is different than the other. Drop step it back into a peaceful warrior. Inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward dog. We'll all meet in downward dog, hips up and back. And then taking those feet a little bit wider on your mat. We're gonna walk hands to feet. So walking hands back of the mat, turn your toes open, Malasana Yogi Squat. The wider the feet may be better to get your hips down, so you decide how far you need those heels to open up. Tailbone lengthening down towards the floor. Option to stay in Malasana or crow. If crow is in your practice, maybe one foot comes off the floor, one toe, maybe both feet come off the floor, whatever variation is best for you. We'll take a couple breaths here. Knees are squeezing in onto the arms, strong and grounded into your hands. And then coming back into your Malasana Yogi Squat. Option to stay hands in Jali Mudra, heart center, or float that right hand down to the floor, left arm opens out. Coming back to center, to the other side. Coming back to center, hands come down to the floor, hips lift up high, let the feet stay wide, ragdoll hold. Maybe make a box with your arms, you can just rock or sway side to side. Then releasing the hands down to the floor, walking forward into plank pose. Plank, pause and hold. Feet can be as wide as you want them to be. We're gonna go option for that right leg to go in the air, just an option. And then with that right leg in the air, we're gonna bring right knee to right elbow. Lower it down to your wrist. Slide it over to the left, up to the elbow, and back to the right. So you're making a box. So lower the knee down to your wrist, over to the other wrist, up to your elbow, back across one more time this side. And then let that three-leg dog go up and back, right leg in the air. Step the right foot forward and through crescent top of the mat. Right foot comes forward, hands can be down or up, your choice. We're gonna be here for a couple breaths. Both knees are bending, tailbone lengthening down towards the floor. And then bringing hands in Jolly Mudra, heart center. Let the chest hover forward over the leg, press through the back heel, and then rotating towards the side as you draw that left elbow just to hover above the knee. So maybe it floats a couple inches. Option always to take that left hand to the floor if that's better for you. Belly, pit of the belly drawing in, active through the muscles in your inner thighs. One more breath. Inhale, come back up, crescent in the center, arms reach up high. Draw the elbows down, heart, chest opens up. Inhale, the hands back up high. Exhale, hands come down, plank pose, pause and hold. Left side, and then drawing that box. Bring the left knee in by your elbow. Slide it down to your wrist, across to the right, up and back over. A couple of rounds here. Always an option to lower that back knee down to the floor if you need it. And then coming into that three-legged dog, left leg up and back. Left foot crescent, top of the mat. Arms up or down if those shoulders need a break. Let the hands come down, open up through the thumbs, roll the shoulders back, chest open. Hands in Jolly Mudra, heart center. Let the belly hover right over that front leg, press through the back heel, and we're gonna twist towards the mirrors. Hover, twist. Inner thighs are reaching in towards the midline, strong and grounded in your feet. Inhale, come back into the center, and then drawing those arms into cactus or goalpost arms. Roll the chest open, maybe the gaze goes up towards the ceiling. One breath. Inhale, the hands reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward dog, meeting in downward dog, hips up and back. Tailbone lifting up, head hanging heavy, take a breath. Option to let it out through the mouth to let go of some heat. One more round. Softening the knees, feet to hands, feet top of the mat. Inhale as you half lift. Exhale and fold. Root to rise, draw the arms, reach up. Eagle standing on your right leg. Standing on the right, left leg comes up and over, left elbow underneath. If elephant arms is a better option for you, you can go there. The elbows lift as the shoulders slide down. Bending into the knees, find the grounding and the strength in your legs. Let those inner thighs still be active. We'll take a couple breaths here. Staying single leg balance on that right side, we're gonna float it open into airplane. So chest is higher than parallel, hands reaching back, torso opening up, heart shining forward. A little soft in that front standing leg, almost like you're in a baby back bend. So let the chest open up, the shoulders to roll back, the thumbs to draw back. And then bringing hands down to the floor. Soften the knee as much as you need to. Hands down to the floor. Option to stay in that standing half split or bounds. If you're working on the bounds, you're strong in your hands. So you're on the ball of that front foot. The heel is lifted. Yeah, pressing up like you're coming into a handstand. For 5, whichever variation you're working on. For 3. For 2. Drop, step it back into a crescent, right foot top of the mat. Inhale, draw the arms in, reach up. And we're going cow space arms. Left elbow's gonna stay up, right elbow comes underneath. Bending into the knees, keep the strength in your legs. One more breath here. Inhale, release the hands up. Exhale, hands down, chaturanga. Upward dog. Downward dog, 2 breaths. Or child's pose, your variation. Feet to hands, half lift, fold. Root to rise, eagle standing on the left leg. So that right leg up and over, right elbow underneath. Remembering those elephant hands is an option. But the elbows and the shoulders working in opposite directions. So lift the elbows as the shoulders set down. Active through the midline, just strong in those inner thigh muscles. And then staying strong on that left leg, single leg balance into your airplane. Heart lifts, chest opens up. Let the thumbs roll back, the upper back be active. Notice the parts of your foot that are pressing in strong into your mat. Softening the front knee as much as you need to, hands to the floor. Option again for that standing half split or your bounds. Push if you're in your bounds, pressing like you're pressing the mat away for 4. Everybody meets crescents, left foot top of the mat. And then bringing that right elbow up, left elbow down. Bending into the knees. Inhale, the hands reach up. Chaturanga, flow it through. Upward dog. Downward dog. Feet to hands on your exhale. Inhale and half. Exhale and fold. Inhale, root to rise. Hands in Jali Mudra Utkatasana chair. So setting into that chair pose. And then we're going chair twist to your right, to your right. The elbow can hover or it can touch onto the knee. Bending into the knees, find the strength in your feet. But let the twist come from the torso. So if you float those arms up, you can check in just to see if you're not pressing into that leverage on your leg. Just notice if the strength is coming from that rotation in your core versus using your arms to draw yourself around. And then go ahead and let that elbow come into touch. Eyes come down to the floor for your gaze, your drishti. And then we're going to float that left leg back. Just an option. You can stay in chair, the toes can touch, or the leg can press through like you're pressing into the wall behind you. One more breath here. Bring it back to your chair twist. Inhale to center. Exhale, chair twist, other side. So torso turning towards the mirrors. Bend into your knees, strong and grounded into your legs. And you decide if you want that elbow to touch or if you want it to float. But let the length in the spine and the twist come from those core muscles to draw you around. And then option as that elbow rests onto your leg to lift that right leg up and back, float it back. Strong and grounded in that single leg balance. Find your drishti, your gaze. Inhale, bring it back to center. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, draw the arms, reach up overhead, come up tall onto the tiptoes, the balls of your feet. Keep the heels lifted if you can, toe balance, bend your knees, bring your hips all the way down to your heels. So toe balance, hands can be up, they can be in Jali Mudra or resting on the floor if you need them for a little bit of support. And then bringing your hips down to the floor for Navasana boat pose. Hands can be behind your thighs if you need that support. Toes can be on the floor or the hands can be up. Imagine someone's got their hand on your lower back giving you a little bit of lift or support. We'll take 2 breaths here. And then option to stay just as you are or come into that low boat, high boat. So low boat and lift. Release shoulders down towards the floor. Lift and open. Release and lift for 5, for 4, 2 more here. The next time you come into low boat, pause and hold. Hover, eyes, toes, fingers, all at the same height. Take a breath and release it all the way down. Draw your knees in towards your torso. Start to rock on your spine, front and back, front and back. We're gonna rock all the way up to seated. Crisscross your feet. Hands come up and over the top, back into your plank pose. We're going right side plank, right side plank. Got lots of options here. That bottom knee can be down, the feet can be stacked. If you wanted, it can be a quad stretch on that top leg. So if you're reaching for the bind, just an option. Coming back to plank in the center, and then to the other side. Remembering that sides have some variation, so the right and the left sides may not be exactly the same. You may need a different option. So the knee can be down, feet can be stacked, whatever you'd like here. We've got one more breath. Release it back to the center of your plank and then lowering all the way down to the floor, all the way down. Let your hands come at your side, palms down towards the floor, fingers reaching back, Shavasana locust, inhale up and lift. Heart shines forward, chest opens up. Take 2 more breaths here. And then gently release it all the way down. We're going again, but you've got the option to stay just as you are or dancer on the floor. Dancer on the floor, you're going to bring palms together like you're in elephant hands, toes up towards the ceiling, and then imagine you're taking your fingertips back towards your heels. They're not going to touch, but you're going to open up to the chest through this triceps. Let your hips be heavy and grounded into the floor. Heart shines open. One more breath. Release and set it down. We've got one more round, whichever variation you want. You can come into locust or dancer on the floor, up and go. Let the heart, the chest open up. If your hands are at your side, let the palms be down and the thumbs open. So you're opening up through chest and shoulders. One more breath. Remember to breathe. And let it go. Let it go. Hands come forward underneath your forehead. You can bend your knees and just let your feet windshield wiper side to side. Coming back to center, release the heels down. Coming up into downward dog, right leg in the air. Let the right leg lift up and back. Take a couple breaths here. Then we're going right side half pigeon. So that right shin's gonna come forward across the top of the mat. Left leg's gonna slide back. You can stay up tall. You can block under the hip. You can bring the hands forward. Try to stay a little active in the pose though. So if you're extra flexible in this movement, try to still be active in those inner thigh muscles. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself back up into that 3-legged dog. And then switching sides. The left leg goes up into the air. Half pigeon on the left. Let that leg swing forward. Figure 4 is always an option too. If you want to come onto your back and hug your knees in towards your torso. And then using your hands to press yourself up, we're gonna come over onto that left hip, swing both legs out to the front, Dandasana staff pose. So reaching through your heels, let the arms reach up, the thumbs reach back. Imagine again, someone's got their hand on your lower back, so you're lengthening up through the crown of the head. Take one more breath. On your exhale, forward fold, belly towards thighs. And then using your hands to walk yourself up, bending your knees, rolling onto your back, onto your mat. And then let your feet go back down to the floor. They can go wide or narrow, just windshield wiper knees side to side with bent knees. And the next time your knees get heavy over to the right side, let them hold there. Arms can be at your side, they can be in cactus. Try to let the shoulders be heavy. If you want to use that right hand to draw the knee over a little bit farther, that's an option. And on your next inhale, coming back to center, and then over to the left side. Legs heavy over to the left. Inhale and come back to center. Baddha Konasana, supine butterfly. Soles of the feet together. Arms can be at your side or they can be in cactus. And you can change the movement by sliding the heels in or out. You can change the posture. So finding that position that's best for you this morning. And just take a moment to check back in with your breathing. Again, just becoming aware of the rise on the inhales and the fall on the exhale. And then using your hands, draw your knees in towards your chest. Coming into either waterfall or shoulder stand. So there's the block beside you if you want to put it under your hips. You can use your hands under your lower back. If plow is in your practice, that's an option for you. Let the neck lengthen. And then gently start to soften your knees. Lower your hips all the way down to your mat. And we'll spend our next few minutes in Shavasana. Let your body be heavy. Your arms rest heavy at your side. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable. And then just starting to do a scan from the crown of your head to the tips of your fingers, the tips of your toes. Becoming aware of any areas of extra tightness or tension. And on the exhale, just encouraging those areas to soften a little bit and let go. Again, on your inhales, drawing awareness to those areas of tightness. And as you exhale, releasing, encouraging those areas to soften. Feeling completely supported by your mat beneath you. Being thankful for the wonderful things our bodies allow us to do every day. Giving yourself these next few minutes to just rest and recover. Then slowly start to move your fingers, move your toes. And gently coming to a side, bending your arms, bending your knees. Using your hands, press yourself up to seated. And then bringing hands in Jali Mudra to heart center. Thank you for sharing your practice today. Namaste.